Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle. And as you can see here by these two posts that I did see on Instagram, Nathan DeAsha and Roelly Winklaar are confirmed athletes for the Europa Spain or the Europa Pro. You remember last year there was the blue background event, and it was James Hollingshead that won. A lot of people thought Rafael Brandao was going to win that one. I think he placed way down in third. I think so. Lucas Osladel defeated him anyway. But anyway, guys, this is huge news. The return of Nathan DeAsha, Big Nathan. And can Roelly Winklaar, make up for his 5th place finish he received at the Chicago Pro? Very disappointing, I might add. So, at this time, let's begin this comparison between these two. I decided to use the 2019 Yamamoto Cup for Nathan DeAsha. He did good in this event, guys. Probably one of his more recent versions. Like I said, he placed second to guess who? Roelly Winklaar. And Roelly Winklaar, of course, this is his most recent version. And it's hard to say. It is very difficult to say what Nathan DeAsha is going to bring to the stage. I mean, you could have used his most recent version. But, I mean, it's been a few years, so it doesn't really matter. I think you could use the 2018 version. Hey, he might even look like he did in 2017, 16. He was really jacked one year, I remember. I actually thought of him as a future Olympia champion. In the front double bicep pose, you can see, structurally speaking, these guys are built very different. Very different indeed. Smaller waistline, I would say, for Nathan DeAsha. But it's a more gradual V-taper, or, less obvious lats for Roelly Winklaar, but it slopes down. I don't know, it's just so different, these two. I think, honestly, the judges will probably be hoping that one of them is in far better condition, so it'll be a easier matchup. I would say Nathan's legs, the wheels, Roelly's wheels are downsized, guys, and let's face it, they were never a strong point for Roelly. So he's definitely going to have to bring those up. His arms, more than a match for Nathan's. But Nathan, no slouch in that department either. Go to the front lat spread. And you can see what I mean, guys. These guys built totally different. I mean, sizing was a little bit difficult, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But Nathan is taller than Roelly, but Roelly's built thicker. He has a thicker set of hips, midsection, wider waistline, and Nathan has a very tiny waistline, and it makes all of his muscles look so much bigger, makes his V-taper all that much better. Actually, food for thought. Not the best shot for Nathan DeAsha here. I think he's done hitting the pose. The camera angle's not the best, and I'm not making an excuse for the guy. It's just a fact that 9 times out of 10, I think Nathan would defeat Bubunder in the front lat spread. Turn to the side chest development. And Roelly used to dominate in a shot like this, guys. The delts, the triceps, biceps. I think Roelly needs to, get a hold of some pumping pose, if you know what I'm saying. Get that upper body pumped up. Hey, whatever. If other guys are using it, why not? Maybe he saves that for the Olympia. Do it now. Come on. Nathan DeAsha, he's big, he's vascular, and with his structure, could get an edge. Go to the side tricep. Now, if Roelly sucked his gut in here, and that's the thing, he couldn't keep it controlled. And it wasn't that he didn't have the good abs, things of that nature when he was flexed, but here in the hoo-ha pose, and this is not a side tricep, this is a hoo-ha pose position, and I didn't give up on the hoo-ha. I seen that comment one day. I think if Roelly was losing the chest, which I'm not saying he was, it was, I think he's winning this one. You look at the tricep itself, even though it is twice or half the size as it usually is. But Roelly usually hits his other arm for this pose, which is very interesting. Did he hurt that other tricep? Anyway, I'd like to see him improve the Europa, turn around with the other arm, and boom, he would take Nathan. Let's have a look at the back developments. And Nathan, I don't know. He doesn't have the detail that Roelly Winklaar does. Roelly was conditioned here, and I mentioned that before. He was definitely conditioned as far as his body fat percentage. His endurance was down, and I seen that comment too. Help me out with that word, endurance. Endurance is what you're looking for, and that's right. He has more muscle separation, does Roelly. Nathan does have a big old back, though. It's huge. It's wide, massive, but so does Roelly Winklaar. In his prime, Roelly had a massive back. I don't know, guys. It's going to be close in the rear lat. Go to the rear double. And again, pretty much, now don't get me wrong. With these two pictures, yes, Roelly does look more peeled, more diced in the glutes, hamstrings. But the lighting, guys, so much more favorable. Nobody mentioned the lighting was good at the Chicago Pro. Well, it was, and it was at the New York Pro also. Sizing was a bit of a venture here, guys, and I'll tell you why. This is a side-by-side from the Yamamoto Cup 2019, and it looks like Roelly's bigger, taller, just about the same height. But that's not the case, guys. Nathan DeAsha is a couple inches taller. Now, here's the thing. Look at their feet. You see that, guys? You see that? Roelly Winklaar, and that wasn't just this pose. Any one that I can find, Roelly was stepping way past the line, making him look so much bigger. So sometimes you can't use these side-by-side stage photos for sizing. I think this is more realistic, and I think they would get on Roelly's case nowadays. I mean, not that it was that long ago, but hey, hopefully they, step back in line there, Roelly, and maybe this video will let at least somebody see and let them know that Roelly is doing a Kevin Levrone, stepping above, past the line. He didn't do it at the Chicago. Here's the abs and thigh pose, and I boast about Nathan's abs and thigh pose all the time. It's awesome. He presents a very dry package, outstanding V-taper, and almost unbeatable quads. He has a very aesthetic look about him. Awesome physique. He crouches down a little bit, and I made Roelly even a little taller here. But that's how you size it correctly, guys. You got to take all that stuff into consideration. And anyway, I think this is how it will stand, as long as Roelly doesn't step above the line. At one time, I would say Roelly would maybe defeat Nathan. Well, he would match him anyway, but the quad muscle separation, not as good. So I would wager to say, Nathan is going to win this one come the Europa Spain. But hey, it's the X factor. What shape is Nathan going to be in? Finish this one off, and I would wager to say Nathan is going to be in good shape. He's got a bigger structure than Roelly Winklaar, but that doesn't necessarily mean that can help him. If Roelly presents a smaller structure with more muscle, he's going to look more muscular for sure. But I think Nathan is a beast. I mean, his physique, I'm a huge fan of it. Like I said a long time ago, I believe that he will be a Mr. Olympia champion someday. Do I still believe that? Well, I don't know. I said the same thing about Kuklo, and I believe Akeem Williams a long time ago. Anyway, guys, take it for what it is. I have DeAsha winning this one. And that's not to say that Roelly Winklaar cannot improve upon his Chicago Pro showing, because I think most certainly he will. I think he's actually going to look twice as good. If you like my prediction of Roelly in third, well, here's my prediction. Roelly's going to be twice as good. He's seen that Chicago Pro showing. Guys, you got to think. He hasn't stepped on stage in years, aside from guest posings, things of that nature. They had them working overtime at the Chicago. That's hard to do. Just jump on stage from not competing. I think he's going to come back harder and stronger than, much stronger than the Chicago. But using these pictures, DeAsha. But that's the thing. Is DeAsha going to improve upon this version, or is he going to not be as good? I think he's going to be better. Anyway, guys, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of both of these guys, both Roelly and this dude, Nathan DeAsha. Hit thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and have a great day, guys.